How you doing, Mr. DJ? Back on Countdown, my fancy playlist of November 6, 2005. How you doing? It is a cold morning here in Tuscaloosa. It is below freezing here in Alabama. Yes, it does get cold in Alabama, even as the stars fall on Alabama. All right. Slow Jam at number 19, Lyfe Jennings. I hope I'm pronouncing his first name correctly. Lyfe, Lyfe Jennings, must be nice. Yes, it must have been very nice for Lyfe Jennings to have an R&B hit because, boy, he ran into some major problems when he was very young. Lyfe Jennings from Toledo, Ohio. The video was shot in Toledo, and his father died when he was very young. When Lyfe Jennings, when he was a teenager, he joined a band. It was called the Dotsons, Dotsons. His brother was in that band, two of his cousins, and they broke up in the early 90s. And that's when, around this time, Lyfe Jennings ran into a life-changing situation. Adversity of the major degree. Lyfe Jennings went with a group of his friends to a house. They thought this house belonged to a rival drug dealer. A drug dealer that was competing for business with a member of Lyfe Jennings' group or the crew that he was hanging out with. And somebody threw a firebomb into the house. A 25-year-old mother of 6 was killed. They got the wrong person. They got the wrong house. And the lawyers now Lyfe Jennings didn't throw the bomb. Somebody else did. The lawyers argued that Lyfe Jennings thought they were just going to vandalize the car, the target's car, the drug dealer's car, but he got thrown in jail. He was in prison for 10 years. He was 14 when he was put in prison. He was released. His music career was cut short. Forget that. But when he was released, in late 2002, he did not waste any time. He recorded a 4-song CD about 2 or 3 days after release. A month later, he was performing at the Apollo. When Lyfe Jennings got on the stage, he was booed. And you know how the Apollo crowd is. They're rough. They don't show any mercy. And perhaps another person would become so demoralized they'd say, I got to get the hell out of here. I got to get the hell out of Dodge, man. They hate me. But Lyfe Jennings, he stuck it out. He got on stage. He sang. The crowd liked his falsetto. They liked his songwriting. And they liked him so much that Lyfe Jennings, he went on, he won 5 amateur nights in a row at the Apollo. Scarcely out of prison. Stayed in New York City. Got a deal with Columbia Records. Released the album. The album was like, oh, by the way, I knew I forgot something. During his time at the Apollo, he sold 1,000 copies of his 4-song demo. It gave him a lot of confidence. Deal with Columbia Records. Released his debut album, 268-192, which was his prison identification number. And had this great record out. Must be nice. Must have felt very nice indeed to have a hit record. Lyfe Jennings at number 19 on my fantasy playlist, November 6, 2005.